This is Humans on the Road, where I interview people on the intricate parts of their lives. Welcome to Humans on the Road. Today we have Joe on the podcast. So tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you live now.
Joe Bott. I'm 28. I'm living in Salt Lake City, Utah. Salt Lake is, Utah's my 8th state. Okay. So I've lived all over the country, every time zone.
Jeez.
Spent some time abroad, so a little bit of everywhere. But I consider Des Moines, Iowa home.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Wait, did we talk about this?
Maybe a little bit, because you're from Iowa.
I think we talked about the fact that did you go to Iowa State, right?
For a semester for fun.
Okay, wait, I feel like maybe we talked about it for
But Des Moines, Iowa is my home.
Okay.
Where were you born? 20 years. Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Where did you go to college? And so you went to Iowa State for one semester?
So I did my undergrad at University of Cincinnati in Ohio,
okay.
and then I did a semester at Iowa State just to take some classes and work on campus because I had no idea what I was doing still after undergrad.
Alright. What did you study?
I was an environmental studies major.
Okay, at both schools?
Yeah, it's environmental studies at Cincinnati, and then I took some classes in GIS specifically at Iowa State, and I worked at a soybean cyst nematology lab. So.
Interesting. Yeah, I think Iowa State has a good environmental studies program, but then Iowa has a better
med program. People go to med school in Iowa.
Oh yeah, for sure. But in that industry though, we have what's it called? The study of rocks, geology.
Oh, geology.
Okay. The study of rocks. So that's better at Iowa, I guess. So what do you do for work?
So currently, I am opening a bar with my mom. More specifically, a cidery. So we're actually in the phase right now. We'll be fermenting apple juice into hard cider, which is that's one thing around here. You say cider, and people are what? Because they know it's non-alcoholic juice from Cause there are orchards in the area. But a lot of people get a little fermenting it Angry Orchard, they don't usually know Angry Orchards like that. Okay. So that'll be the main focus. So it'll be a brewing space, and then we'll have cider on tap, and then beer, cocktails, and all that kind of stuff also available at the bar.
Very cool. Okay. And then you're gonna have pickleball court too. Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, pickleball courts, 4-bit pickleball courts, which is it's a fun sport. It's big in Utah. Behind that really is my mom's the driving force behind opening the bar. But she wants a very social, interactive place. So you come to have drinks, but not only drink, to come play, connect with the community, be outside.
Well, you have other games, board games.
Yeah, so I have a long list of interesting board games or tabletop games that will keep people sticking around to play games and drink a little bit.
Yeah, sweet. That's awesome. And then is it dog friendly? Everyone's gonna want to know.
It'll be dog friendly. Cool. Utah's a little weird. You can't have dogs inside, so it'll be dog friendly on the patio. But that'll be a lot of fun. So hopefully a lot of dogs running around all the time. And there's even if we have space for thinking about putting a turf dog park in the space too, so you can have dogs off leash and that kind of thing.
That'd be awesome. That'd be really cool. Very well. Where will it be? It's gonna be right here. We're actually here.
Yeah, Mill Creek, Utah. So just south of Salt Lake.
Definitely go on Main Street. Do not go on Temple. You'll get lost. What are some of your signature drinks? Are you gonna have a signature cocktail list, or is it just gonna be?
I've always been a craft beer, more single drink person. So we'll have some fun ciders that are probably single varietal, local apples to Salt Lake only. I actually think that we have a couple trees outside that are crab apple trees. If those grow well enough, it'd be fun for a crab apple cider from the property. When it comes to cocktails, people are starting to do fun stuff with cider as the base. So I actually was talking to a local TikToker who's a big cocktail bartender here and has her own cocktail business that she does private events. And I was hey, you need to help with the cocktail menu eventually. So hopefully she's on board with that.
That'd be awesome.
Have some fun, interesting cocktails with cider bases and stuff.
That sounds so interesting. And then when is it opening?
Hopefully December 1st. A lot of it's just based on licensing, so going through all the paperwork for both the state and federal level. But we're really shooting for December 1st open. But hopefully even before that, we can be making cider and just selling it off premise and stuff. So.
And then since you guys are classifying as a bar in Utah, you don't necessarily have to sell food.
So no, so with Utah the bar means 21 and over, and then we have to have some level of food.
Oh, okay.
So we're leaning towards hot dogs. dogs just to make it really fun and simple.
Who doesn't love
But
hot
there's like
dogs?
it's weird because like there's a bar downtown, like a brewery that sells a $300 hot pocket as their one food item, but just
$300?
no one buys it. It's like a Stouffer's hot pocket. But since not to buy, they offer the food stuff, so
I see.
there's like weird rules like that with it. But yeah, so it's gonna be like
weird.
21 and over only, which is unfortunate, but it's just the Utah law, and that's
makes sense.
very light food, and then hopefully lots of food trucks and stuff throughout the week.
Okay, very cool. All right, moving on to your hobbies. What are some of your top hobbies? You mentioned the climbing gym right there.
Climbing gym, so I like try to climb or go to like the workout classes and stuff each week. Couple of times a day sometimes when I'm really bored. Because I don't have like a lot of my job now is like I have a lot of free time just because it's meeting with like contractors and stuff, so I can like get in and out of there, which is nice. But hiking, I like to go out, hike with the dog, go do anything like near water. I make cider, like weird fermented things at home, which is like usually turns out bad, but it's fun to try.
Did you bring some this
I did bring some cider, it wasn't my best, but some people like some of it. I don't measure anything, so I usually just like, it's like, I get the ingredients, I know what I'm doing, but I just kind of throw it all in and hope for the
So are
best.
you going to be doing that here too?
No. So we just posted the job listing for a head cider maker.
Okay.
I was very, I could have learned, I think, in my last job, so I went to the cidery, but I was like, I like the bar side, like running a bar, more social side of that, so we're going to have a full-time experienced cider maker. I guess I like make 300 gallons of cider at a time versus
so
me.
It's not
I'll help out, but it won't be.
Good to know.
It won't be the final product I'm making.
So what are some of your other hobbies other than climbing?
That's a good one. I think it's like just being outside in general, like just doing things to stay busy.
Like hiking, biking.
Hiking. I suck at biking, so I don't bike too much.
Isn't the goal like you can never forget how to bike? So like how are you bad at biking?
I'm just like I'm always out of shape, but I don't bike enough to get into shape, and I'm always like this sucks every time I do it. I definitely changed a lot. Like I moved out here a couple months ago, so like I'm redoing, like kind of finding new things to do. Because a lot of the places I've lived recently weren't like they're outdoorsy, but like in a totally different way.
Okay.
So like it's nice to. Or I was
guess
like,
that's true. Yeah, like definitely different.
a lot of times when I was bartending too, it's like I work 2 to 11 or something like that, so it's like hard to find.
Yeah.
You gotta do something in the morning or something like that. So.
For sure. Okay, so moving on to traveling. So one of the reasons you left the camping this weekend was because you missed your bed, right?
Yes. I'm like the worst when it comes to like, I love camping, I love doing stuff, but I'm always like, when I'm too close to home, like, well, I could like
I guess that's true.
go to bed, or I could get home tonight versus like getting up early in the morning, just leaving in the morning. So that's like one of those things. Traveling, like I've lived abroad, so like, and I think a lot of it's like, I've been away for so long, sometimes it's like, that's like, I'll get bored, I'll get home or something like that.
Gotcha.
But
so would you ever like live in a vehicle so that your bed is just kind of mobile?
I could never do that. I thought about it. I think I like a home base too much, and so I think like the
even though you've lived in 8 states.
8, yeah, it's contradictory, right? I like a really solid place to always return to. Like I don't mind like doing like weekend trips or like long drives like that, but I just don't think I could ever really fully commit to that van life.
Okay.
Like I'm a big fan of like hostels or like go to like an Airbnb, go see an Airbnb in a city, and like be more like in the city and that kind of thing, and then experience it that way than like fully. And I guess I don't like the uncertainty of like, okay, well I get into a new city, like where am I gonna park or all that kind of stuff. I'm like, it's just like to be like, okay, no, I'm going before I even get there.
Gotcha.
So
it's not the unpredictable.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. What's your favorite or least favorite spot you've ever been and why?
Favorite spot? I lived in Yogyakarta, Indonesia for 45 days. It was supposed to be a little bit longer stint, but moving to Asia in February of 2020 as the pandemic starting isn't like the most thought out idea of all things. It's a 4 million person city in like the cultural capital of Indonesia, and I was there for some classes, got it fully paid for by the EU, which was like a nice, so I had to pay for any of it, and it was just like an awesome 45 days because like I think we knew we weren't going to be able to stay that much longer, so we all had mopeds, we'd moped around town, like go to the bars, go to the beach, and that kind of stuff. So that was really cool. I also lived in Iceland for 2.5 years, so like that was awesome. But I lived there long enough where it was just normal life after a while, which wasn't as exciting anymore. So people like always like get on me like, oh, you didn't love Iceland? I'm like, no, I loved it. I couldn't live there forever.
Yeah,
it's
that's fair. Some places are not made for living, but like made for traveling.
When you live and work there, it's like you're not going out to see like the sites because the sites aren't necessarily close to town where you live anyway in Iceland, and it's expensive.
Yeah, that's how I feel about LA because because like everyone's like, you're from like one of the coolest cities in America, and I'm like, is it? Like, I don't understand my quaint little beach town and like have to pay for like $14 drinks and deal with like massive amounts of crowds to see anything touristy.
Well, that was like, oh, you don't go out every weekend to travel? I'm like, well, gas is $8 a gallon and a half. It's like, I pay like $800 a month for a 1-bedroom and a 6-bedroom house. It's like I have to go and make money on the weekends, and it's like, by the time it's like you get off at 8 o'clock at night, like I'm going to the bar instead of hanging out with my friends that way, instead of like driving 2 hours to see the same waterfall for the 15th time.
Yeah, that's true.
So, worst place?
Oh,
I don't know about worst place. I don't think I've ever like so many different places I've lived. I think I've liked them all for different reasons. I think I've liked a lot of like, I lived in Austin and DC before, but I lived at like the wrong time where I was like a teenager. You like couldn't like be so like I couldn't drive around Austin on my own and go like do all the fun stuff that Austin has these days. And like DC is cool when you're only 15 and 16. You're like not going to hang out in DC that often.
Yeah,
so like
so are a lot of these places that you've moved to like with your parents or with your mom?
Yes, my mom is a mortgage banker.
Okay.
So like just like the mortgage industry, like she was an army kid growing up, so she was used to moving around a lot. So I think it kind of translated to she gets kind of sick of tired of one place, and she's like, let's just move. And she like when she hated her job, it's like she's like, let's go somewhere else. I'm like, sounds good to me. Like,
oh yeah, that's nice.
Like kind of go with the
flexibility. That's
super
nice for sure. What is one that's like a bucket list spot of yours?
Bucket list spot. I think Australia is like an easy one to think about. I like to scuba dive too, so it's like get out there and do that kind of thing. There's some parts of Africa I really want to get to. I've been a couple times, so it's like getting back to explore different areas would be really cool. I have a friend who runs a safari company out there that I met while traveling, so he's always trying to get me to come out there for like either the Great Migration or for like to go see like the lowland gorillas in Uganda.
Damn.
And I want to, but it's like Africa, like getting to like Central Africa too is like just like one extra flight, like 9 more hours. So it's like it just takes a little bit extra to get there. It's beautiful and cheap when you get there, but it's expensive just to start your trip out that way and travel like 3 days to be in that spot.
Do you have like a distinct like crazy travel story from like any of the places you visited or lived?
Like Africa's pretty crazy. Like I would say like Africa's one of those places where it's so like 100% different from America. Like when you go to Europe, there's like a lot of American influence, or like the people aren't that different. Like culturally, like you have like similar stuff going on, but like Africa's like just full 180, like different pace of life. Like you're like it's wild. Where like you have elephants in the road, hippos in the road, and all that kind of stuff. And like it's definitely a lot more dangerous in a lot of places. Like depending on where you are. Like I think. When on Christmas Eve when I was there, 2 girls almost got kidnapped out of the, like leaving the hostel.
Jeez.
And like we like met this one crazy American who like she like picked us up drunk to go to a party. And she's like 42, which is very funny. And then she's like waving her gun around in her car like for her protection. I was like, oh my gosh, like, what are we doing here? And she was like a Department of Defense contractor, which doesn't seem very safe in the scheme of things.
All right, since we met through Outsiders, how long have you been a part of Outsiders and how did you hear about it?
I think probably since May-ish on the Facebook group. I'd like seen like TikToks and stuff throughout like, the last 6 months and stuff. And I think when I moved out here in April, it was like, okay, this is like a good way to like try to meet some like local people. Because I had some family and like some like connections with people in the area, but not like anybody super solid. So it was just like an opportunity, like if I want to have like the option to go and meet people. It was like an option to have, which was nice.
You're like fresh in the state, like you just
so I moved here April, like the first week of April.
Oh jeez.
My mom's been here full time since 2020.
Oh, okay.
And she grew up like in north here in Ogden, so she's like familiar with the area. I've been throughout the years, like my sister went to the U for a couple of years, so we like been here a lot, but never like lived here until I moved out here.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's cool. Awesome. So how many events have you been to with Outsiders, and do you have a favorite?
I think I guess 3 now. A couple weeks ago, like a whole bunch of people. I think a couple weeks ago was one of my favorites. I think just because it was like we just did a single day outside, like at the reservoir where we swam last weekend, and just like one of the guys came up, like he like brought burgers, grilled for everybody, like
fun,
like let us see grew in his garden, that kind of stuff, and like did a full day at the reservoir, and like it was pretty chill. And then a couple weeks ago, we went like just off-roading and spend a couple nights, did the same thing, right? Came Friday night and left Saturday night. Like in the Uintas in a different spot and stuff like that. So, but it's like fun, like stuff like that where I'm less likely to go by myself camping, and it's like it's a good little like force myself. And then I do like that it's always like we're always like an hour away here to get camping. So like if the vibe's weird, like I just like I'm tired, like I just want to get home. Like it's easy to do. Like you're not 3 hours, 4 hours away from home.
Are you sad that you missed out on tattoos?
A little bit, but I know at the same time I don't need another tattoo right now. Like another way for my mom to be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, did you see this one? It looks like
I saw the pictures. This one is from a 5th floor or 8th floor apartment complex. It's supposed to be like a shield and spears.
Oh, okay.
But the guy was a great muralist, not a great tattooer. And
it's also kind of a tough spot, I feel like.
well, that's like when I put it there just so I could hide it easily because I knew it was my best tattoo. I guess it's one of the crazy story from Africa where I met the guy in one city, and like I was in his home city for like the longest time, and he knew I was going there like just through conversation, and he's like, "Okay, I'll come find you." I'm like, "Yeah, sure," like thinking he would never find me, like easy out. And like 2 weeks later, like he's in my hostel like lobby, like, "Hey, what's up, man?" I was like, he's like, "You want a tattoo now?" Like, I guess so.
I guess I have to.
And like they went to like the computer repair shop his buddy worked at in the apartment complex and like used their store and like moving computer parts away to do these tattoos. It's like,
how many other tattoos do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tattoos right now.
Oh yeah, because you have tattoos on your legs.
Yeah,
okay.
which is most of my tattoos. Like,
do you have a favorite?
I don't know. Like, I have this fish right here. This is a stick and poke from Indonesia.
That's the best stick and poke.
Like, super like accomplished artist, things like that. So I have that one, and then I have a fish when I lived in Minnesota, just by a different artist, like keeping the composure. And then I have this frozen beach chairs and bicycles, and I got that at a surf coffee shop in northern Minnesota. Because it was like a pop-up tattoo shop for the day, and I was like, yeah, that one looks good. So.
The frozen beach chairs is the best.
Which is like very deliberate. It's like a beach town, like it's somewhat white sand beach, like on Lake Superior, but it's just Lake Superior is really cold, so you can't go out. It's like 90 plus.
Okay, so moving on to dating. So this is a singles and solo travelers group. What is your love language, and what does that look like for you?
Ooh, probably personal time. What's that one?
Quality time.
Quality time.
Personal time. You don't seem very different of these.
No, I think quality time. Like I like just relaxing and hanging out. Like I'm very big like with my friends. Like if we can just sit on the couch, like have TV going, be on our phones, and just like chilling and not like show each other like a meme every once in a while. Like that's all I need. I don't need to like be like fully engaged in conversation and like getting into the depths of it.
That's super funny. I'm the person who needs to be like having like a conversation or like eating something like that. That's like actually like attention, like whatever you call it.
Like I'm all for conversation, like especially I guess when I meet people, it's like conversation's nice, but then like if I know you and like let's just like hang out, like relax and like not expect a bunch of back and forth with each other, and that's always like good.
Yeah. That makes sense. So are you single?
I am single.
Okay. Are you open to dating?
Yeah, I think like I always have like this picture of like I'm gonna date, and then I just like either don't make enough time for it on purpose, where I'm always like I'm not like fully into it yet again, where it's like, oh yeah, I really want to go out and like date, like
it's like that happens, it happens.
Yeah, it happens, like I'm like too selfish with my time sometimes.
Okay.
It's like
I feel that. 100%.
Also like I want these 3 hours free. It's like oh, now I gotta like give up some of that free time. It's tough, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess either on the side of like wanting to date, what are you looking for in a partner?
Oh man, I think like someone just very laid back and like outgoing, like willing to do stuff, and like as much as I like having plans, like not having set plans and not like needing to like go do crazy things all the time, but just like, oh, let's go do this today, like trying to chill, like let's go sit at a bar, let's go just do nothing or whatever, that kind of thing.
Okay. So then, if you like on the side of like not wanting to date necessarily, what are you looking for in this group?
I think just like meeting people like locally, just to like do fun stuff with like we got to do outdoor climbing for like, and I don't know any of the outdoors climbs out here, so it's like a good like way to get introduced to more like
definitely
mountainy sports and that kind of thing. And
have you ever done that before, or was that the first time?
First time I've outdoor climbed.
Oh, cool.
I'm definitely like look for like people to ski with. I haven't skied in 20 years.
Okay.
I have a ski pass, so I have to relearn.
Iconic. Okay, I was like, I don't know.
There's like seven resorts in my in the area.
I knew there's a few, so that's fair.
So, forcing myself to learn how to ski, so I paid for the pass, so I can't renege on it now at this point, because that would be like
I know a lot of
big
people
loss
in Salt Lake City are trying to learn or want to get out there. They just don't want people to go with.
And that's luckily I have my cousin lives 45 minutes north, just moved out here after I did, so there's a person that I didn't do ski out here, but then they work regular 9 to 5 jobs where I'll have the luxury of being able to ski in the mornings during the weekdays, because I won't need to be here all the time until in the afternoon.
That's the best, being able to ski in the mornings and then just dip out. Okay, so I've heard there is a friend of a friend in Outsiders who is into long hair and good cider. So they wrote in and asked what your type is, physically and personality traits. And then I'm trying to make this a match made in heaven.
Oh man. I think just anybody that's athletic, you just have to be able to get out there and do stuff and not sedentary, I guess. And which athletic comes in 1,000 forms, obviously, right? But person crazy enough to want to date me, I guess.
I'm trying to get you to actually settle down and give them your time. Dang, she's gonna have to fight.
Come drink a lot of cider at the bar. I'll be here. That's the.
You just see the same girl at the bar every night.
The one big thing for sure is I know my social life will plummet come a month out opening and stuff, just because we got to save money by me working more, which is I'm totally fine with. I love that being social. There's definitely being social behind the bar and being social in your own friend group where it's not quite the same, but you can get a lot of meet a lot of cool people, which is also really nice because then they leave the bar and you're that was a fun conversation. If I see them again, not a big deal. I don't have to feel I keep up with them or be that second half of a relationship where these it's very bartender bar-goer relationship.
Yeah, definitely.
I think I'm playing 70-hour weeks for the first couple months where it's
sheesh.
Just
all behind the bar or also management?
Management, doing all the small stuff because my mom still works full time.
Oh,
to supplement the fact that because right now we're
upfront cost,
we have this, we will open for 6 months and we'll have income. Basically, you're spending until you open, and then you're not really making money until 6 months after you open even. So it's a lot of she's doing that so she can afford to pay me to do all the stuff that she can't do.
Okay.
And then because she works, she's going to DC today for work and things like that. So she just travels a lot in the first place. So it's nice for me to be able to do all the small stuff, and then she gets the excuse to make me live at home, which I don't mind because it's free to live at home then. I'll move once the bar's open. I'll probably move somewhere in the bar area so I can be close just in case, but not too close so I can just look at the bar because that'd be bad for me.
Yeah, you need a break.
Between bartending and just in the mornings administrative stuff, helping the brew the cider maker out, getting stuff ready to go, and then just I guess just saving money is the big one too.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we'll have starting out it'll be me and my cousin's actually gonna move out here because she wants a different pace of life and change a job, and she's interested in cider, so she's gonna help with the brewing, help with the bartending. I'll take run the bar front of house and that kind of thing.
Okay.
So
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'll help break it up for you for sure.
Yeah, which is nice.
So, what's your opinion on dating apps? Are you on dating apps?
I'm on dating apps. I'm very bad at them.
Okay.
I'll match with people or whatever, and then I'll talk with them, and then it's I don't really want to meet these people that badly.
This is the problem with literally every guy on dating apps is literally like this. I've had the biggest issue with this, just trying to make friends and do something with people instead of not sitting in the van all night. And people just want to chat, and I'm you wanna go get beers? They're oh, and stop responding. I'm what is that?
I've made it a point to kind of force myself sometimes. I guess forced about it, to go outside of my comfort zone, just go and meet up with people.
Yeah.
But I think even in my past dating life, I've been I was a swimmer, so we were always I dated a lot of swimmers just because we were always around each other's teammates. So I have a hard time going into a relationship or meeting someone with that expectation this is could lead to something where I just going to hang out with people and be friends, no stress situation, and maybe that leads to something different.
Yeah.
I just that one-on-one's always weird for me where it's okay, let's go have drinks and then you're drinking, okay, what this is kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Hey, good to talk to you, we'll do it again, and it's never talking again.
Yeah.
Which is probably it's 50% my fault, obviously, but at the same time, I don't feel like missed out by like not like going on a second date with someone from a dating app or something like that. But like there's been times
where friends that have been married, or they got married off of dating apps. You just gotta give it a chance.
Yeah, give it a chance for sure. I always like have this like vision of like my perfect like dating app date is like I'm with a bunch of friends. Like we're going to do it like one of like day and like hey come join with my friends like that day.
Just the girl or her friends?
Or like her friends too. Like make it sort of thing like where it's like a low pressure situation or like
for sure, yeah.
Like I want you to be like cool with my friends too. Like like I can't just like I don't want to like have two separate lives. Like oh I have a girlfriend or a partner and then I go and I go to my friends. Like if they can't be together, it's like weird to me at that point.
So you're one of those people that wants to introduce her on the first date.
Yeah, and like put them on the spot to see how they score.
It's like no people are like fourth date, you know.
Yeah,
everyone it.
I'm more than happy to like show up, meet your friends on the first date too. Like it's not a big deal to me. Like I'll just go and be there. Like you'll mentally like.
You also learn so much about a person too, like when you meet their friends.
Because then it's like, and then you're also like not stuck like let's have a 3-hour conversation. Because like I didn't have 3-hour conversations with my own friends. Like I don't sit down.
Really, you watch you on your phone. It's so memes.
So like and then like you can like then you get to meet other people and like then I think there's a less of a pressure to like a second date where like oh like you were really cool like me and my friends are doing this like come join us again. There's not like that like thought of like this is still a date like I think you just like get to introduce your friend groups and they can mesh easier that way.
That is true.
That too.
That is true. Do you have any fun dating stories? From the apps, from whatever.
So I went on this. It was a Tinder date when I lived in Duluth, Minnesota, and like the big thing out there is like, hey, you want to go to the lake? Like, simple, like grab a drink, like bring drinks down. So like I met this girl and she was cool, and like I don't know if we went to dinner like or had food, and then like oh let's go grab like a 4-pack, we'll go sit at the beach, and so like that, and then like so we went down to the beach, we were like having drinks, and then I think we like decided like oh let's go do something else. So we get back in the car, and then she's just openly drinking and driving. Like this is like 2 hours into meeting her. And I was like, what is going on? Like it was like so casual, like driving down the street, like drinking and drinking. I was like, this is the weirdest thing ever. Like,
yeah, there's like, I mean, Missouri has some interesting laws. I don't know Minnesota's laws on that, but like Missouri.
But she was driving the car too.
Yeah, I was gonna say Missouri, you can't be like in the driver's seat, but you can be in the passenger seat.
Like she was like driving through downtown Duluth. With
no
like
way.
a beer in her hand. I was like, this is so strange. And I was like, I don't know what to do here.
I was saying, you try to like, can you pull over?
Because we were in her car too, so it was just like, and then eventually we got to the spot and we got in the cars. And I was like, this is so weird. And it's like, how do I like ride this out and just like leave and not talk again? It was just a bold move for like a first like couple hours of knowing someone to like just openly drink in front of them while driving.
Especially not to be like, hey, do you mind if I just like keep my beer in my hand?
Yeah. Like, no, we're just gonna drink it, okay.
Yeah, that was for sure something. I know, I'm always like, then if I'm a passenger in someone's like car, I'm like, do you care if I have my drink or do you want me to finish it? Like,
yeah.
Because I don't want to put them in that situation.
Exactly.
But I guess when she was driving, she was like, you can't get in trouble, I'll get in trouble. So like
I finished my drink as we left the beach too. Like, no, we're in the car, like, we just finished this real quick. Nope, she just kept going.
Oh my gosh. Alright, so some questions we got from the fans on Instagram. Can we do a meetup at the bar when it opens?
Of course. I will take any business and all business, but I think like a fun thing could be like definitely like pre-open and like let us run through the paces and like, or like if people are in the area and they like we need like sample like tasters like come in taste it like let's see like nail down recipes and that kind of stuff like super fun, and then like it's a great space to like meet up and that kind of thing. So anybody in Salt Lake's always welcome. We can always have meetups. Like I'm all for it.
Will you ever have like event nights where you do like trivia or something like that?
Yeah, that's the plan. So like at my last bar, I wrote all the trivia for that too. So like I have a bunch of trivia saved up.
You like wrote the trivia?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I write a lot of trivia, which is it's fun until like it gets to be like a task, and then and like at one point I was writing it. I would like write it every week for 6 months. So I wrote like and it would be like 60 questions a week. Yeah. And then towards like the end of when before I moved here, I was like writing.
It's like a full-time career right there.
There was like I think I wrote 6 a month at like 3 months straight, where I was writing like normal trivia plus theme trivia.
Oh, theme trivia would be fun.
Theme trivia is a little easier because like you're just like locked in. Like Taylor Swift trivia was a big hit.
Oh yeah.
And I learned way too much about Taylor Swift.
Yeah. And
then you get a lot of Taylor Swift fans fighting you about answers because apparently I was incorrect.
That's so funny.
Yeah, like it's like that. Live music. Just anything like that brings extra people on, like things like that. We'll maybe do like pickleball league eventually once we get going. Like one-day tournaments, fun stuff like that for sure. I mean, we have plenty of space for like art swaps, swap meets and that kind of stuff too.
Like
so
cider paint.
Cider paint. Well, it's like there's like so much stuff going on in Salt Lake too. Like the hard thing is like you don't want to like make enemies or like steal like people's business and that kind of stuff. So it's like it's definitely something like not being in the area, like all the kind of navigate those waters. But I think once you meet enough like community connections and stuff like that, like they kind of guide you, like they know these people that put on these kind of things, or like you can help some of the up and coming. Plus a lot of like local artists, like more exposure is better as long as you're not like doubling up big events on the same day as other people or other bars specifically too, which like every in the community is like very friendly from like business to business, but you can't like step on toes and you try to avoid that obviously.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you don't like, start enemies like right when you start.
Yeah.
Okay, another question. How long have you been growing your hair? Will you keep growing it or will you chop it?
Let's see. I've been growing it. I cut it last in March of 2020. Like when I was living in Indonesia, I had a little bit longer hair and I cut it all off and then I moved back to the States. I don't know why I didn't cut it off. I think it was just getting hot there and I was like, I'll just cut it off.
How do you do it here? It's freaking blazing.
It's always up. Like, always up. I don't know how to wear it down, so it's always either up and fun or I have like a beanie on in the winter and so I can push it back.
So did you start the man bun or?
No. I've done a lot. Like my first time I grew my hair out, like grew it out was in college when I swam and like it didn't work well. And then I grew it out after college when I left college. I had that for a couple of years, cut it all off. And then I guess it's like 2.5 years with like a cut here and there, like an inch off here and there just to like trim it up and stuff. But I think like I'm at my max length right here at this point in my life and then I think eventually I'll lose it, so it's like just keep it long until I get sick. I've like had like the last couple of months I'm like trying to shave it off and like not deal with it anymore. I'm like, no, I'll just keep it, whatever.
Yeah, until it just starts falling out.
Until it starts falling out. Just give up and shave it off and be bald or something like that.
That's so depressing for you.
My dad was like the full peninsula. Like I had like the widow's peak growing up. Like he was like full peninsula, and it's just like runs in the pen. Yeah. Most guys these days.
Yeah. My dad had one of those like U-shaped haircuts where like the middle like never grew, and then like he had like hair around. It was like.
There's like a Scott Van Pelt, like the ESPN guy. He's always like big. He's like, come on home. Like there's a certain point where you just like shave it off and become bald. Like it looks worse over time. Like you can't give up the hair. Like it's like a very big thing for men, I guess, obviously. But it's like I told myself like when it gets bad, like just shave it all off. Like you'll know eventually.
Bald puts you in like such a different like category. Yeah. I feel like because like it's rare that girls are like, ooh, bald head. That's the guy. So
for sure.
Definitely interesting category. All right, my last question is, what's your favorite outsider memory?
Probably like when we grilled out at Tibble 4 a couple weeks ago. Like that was just really fun because that was totally random people. I met Dallas there for the first time.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So I met a few people that I've seen since then, and then it was just like a good day. It was like very chill. Definitely a thing in Utah. I think it's probably the only place within the group system, like the outsiders group, that this will happen. Where it's like you have to be very careful, like depending on how strong you are politically and that kind of thing, to be like what you're willing to handle. Like there's a lot of different viewpoints, and like that's tied to that close religion. I get it. All right, well that's all I have today. So thanks for chatting. Yeah, awesome. Thanks for tuning in. This is Humans on the Road, and we'll see you next week. Bye. Yeah.